Okay, I'm going to start on hair, but before I actually start on the hair, I want to do some work on noticing where the hair falls in volume. Like I'm going to use this picture here to sort of draw out, you know, so my head shape, can you see that? Not at all. What if I try it with yellow? Can you see that? Not at all. Let me try a different color marker. Let's try red. So, is that visible? A little more visible. Okay, so my head shape probably comes in like this, right? And the rest is the volume of the hair. So what I want to notice is the difference between the hair, right, and the skull. And I'm really just tracing this so I can see volume, right? This helps me determine how much clay to add to the overall sculpture, right? So if my forehead comes here and then there's this volume in addition to that, right? I can see like how much clay I'm really trying to add, where it falls and how. Right, so my headline falls like that and my hairline falls like this. And if I kind of do that for each sort of view, I have a really good guide of how much volume to add to the side of my head here, right? So, because what I'm doing right now is I'm adding that volume, and I don't know, can you see that like difference? It's really hard to draw over these. Maybe not even the deep black will show up so well on video. But essentially it's about a quarter to a half an inch of depth between where my skull would be in the front and my bangs. So now I have sort of a guide on which I'm going to use to add clay to the hair. And I will do this in a 2-day process. So here's my sculpture. And the first thing I need to do is prepare the area where the hair will be. Now, to do this, I'm going to use a fork. This is one of my kitchen forks. I'm going to wash it off. It'll be fine. Okay? But what I need to do is decide where the hair is. I have bangs, so I'm going to have hair here. I'm going to draw out sort of the hair. Oops, wrong tool. Draw out sort of the hairline. And for me, I'm going to have hair that comes up and around. A lot of my hair comes through here. I have bangs that will come right through the front. You guys, after we do hollowing, by the way, I do eyebrows, so don't worry about eyebrows. So basically that's the area where my hair is going to be, and I need to score. So I'm going to use this fork to score, and I'm going to score deep and aggressively. If you have long hair, you might have to score down the shoulders or down the down the shoulders or down the back. There is no leg in the bust. really aggressive scoring. Like I'm digging into this. Right, now I'm gonna spray it with water or add slip. If you have slip prepared, you can use that. I'm gonna just use water. I add water and I'm gonna score again. So just, I'm letting this water soak in. While that soaks in for a minute, I'm gonna get my clay ready. This is the rest. I'm going to use pretty much the rest of the bag, almost the whole bag, on finishing the hair. So I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to get ready to cut chunks off of it. If you have curly hair, you might do ropes, like roll coils and add on that way. And that helps a lot of people. But first I'm going to add the volume. And I do it by cutting a piece off, about a ½ inch. And I'm gonna flatten it out so that it's even and consistent, about a ½ inch. And then I'm gonna shape it, the head shape. Once this is damp, I'm gonna go back over and I'm gonna score the surface. And you can see when your second score goes through that the surface has been smushed with the addition of the water. This has kind of made it nice and squishery. You can see if you forgot any areas. Again, we're not doing the detail work in the hair. We're doing the volume. So first I'm going to start with the area where my bang line is. And my bang line is back, like back here. So I'm going to start back here and I'm going to add volume about, right? That is about the ½ inch that I'm talking about, and I'm making sure I add it on so that it forms solidly, no air bubbles. And then I'm going to do the same thing from below, right? I formed it so that when I add it on, I'm not adding air bubbles, but I'm adding the volume I need for the hair, right? Because I'm going to have a bun up here. I will show you how to do long pieces of hair. I will show you how to do textures and short stuff, but that will be later. So I'm gonna add a little bit more, or I'm gonna cut another chunk about the same thickness to add on the sides. Now, this helps if you're doing a male. This is the same way you do it. If you're doing long hair, you do the top, and then you would add volume all the way down, right? You would add volume coming down the side or folding over the shoulders. If you have curly hair, once you add the top, I like to do curly hair in ropes. Like I do this and then I add, like I'll go different volume, just squish it around like that at first, and then I'll come back and detail it. But that's sort of how I start curly hair. It's just a smush smush. I would obviously score and slip underneath there where I wanted that. This is not gonna work for my project because I'm doing my hair straight. Well, it's in this, when I have it up, it's very straight. When I have it down, it's kind of has a little bit of a wave to it, but I'm not like a super wavy hair person. So I'm creating the volume of where the hair would go. Right now, there's no real okay, so I need, if I want it to come down further, which I'm going to do later, I have to score and slip that area. I'm going to come over here, I'm going to finish this side, and then this is where my bun will be, so hold on. So I have the volume where the hair should be now mostly. I'm going to do some bang work now. And so I'm going to form the clay into a bang. Kind of a triangular shape, and then I'm going to like put it on and look at it, and this needs to come off. It needs to be a little thinner right here. And then I'm going to make sure there's no so there's the volume of my bang. I'm missing an area right there, so I have to come back and do that, but this side is looking okay as to where the bang and the hairline meet. And again, it's just volume right now because I'm going to do some detail work. So I got to get this area over here, and obviously I need to score a little bit further down. So really just looking at the volume that the hair takes up. Where is that volume? How can you add that volume to the hair? And leave undercuts. Okay, so now I'm going to do the bun. Okay, and I'm going to do the bun solid and carve it. That's how I prefer. So I'm going to take my bun, I'm going to take a lump of clay in the same volume my bun would be. Mine's not very big. When all said and done, my bun is only about that big. So I'm going to score that clay and make sure that it fits in there right, because it's going to need to be hollowed. Once when I do my cranium cap, I'm gonna have to hollow that bun. Right, and there's gonna be a indentation in the center, and it's, you know, like bun style. So I need to carve a little bit over here because I got those fringe things that happen, and I have to add the volume where that fringe is. Okay. I mean hair fringe. Again, so for me, that's the start of hair, and I'm going to do some moving it around. I'm just going to move the clay so that I'm like the contours I've created. I'm moving my finger in the direction that the hair will flow. So it just kind of helps set it up. I'll show you how I go back and add undercuts and things like that. An undercut is like the area next to the face where the hair doesn't like touch it, but it flows into it. So then I kind of bang fall down. And the bang is not a straight line like this, obviously. At some point I'll come back in and I will be carving, like significantly carving out areas to make texture and depth in my bang. Right now I'm to get the overall volume or shape of the hair in. Hair stage 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, and like the only thing I can say to you that is that just doing it, and you know, don't worry about everything so much. Just have confidence. Put some volume on there. We're gonna come back and work with this in texture and in form a little bit each day. Not terribly like to the point where it's full detailed, but we're gonna have it on. We're gonna check the shape next time. We're gonna do some more work with like undercuts and symmetry, And then once after we hollow it out in the final, we're gonna come back and add those final textures, the fine tooth textures. So right now what you need to do is get that volume on. Right, and then check against your sculpture. I mean, not your sculpture, excuse me. Check against your picture. So that you can make sure you've gotten sort of the right forms. I mean, this contour, I think from here to here is a little severe, but I'm going to start out that way because I'm going to carve down the bang a lot. But I want to initially have that clay there, and I want it to set up. Like, I prefer, you know, this is where you move around a lot of clay, and then you set it up. You let it, I prefer to do it when it's a little bit stiffer. Right? That's what I prefer. So I get the volume set, and then, oops, I'll come back and add more. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, and I'm going to do this for about probably 45 minutes to an hour, is I'm going to clean up my little mess here, which is significant. But, especially since this is my living room, dining room, living room, slash. But I'm going to let the hair set up. So I'm going to do that, but I don't want anything else to set up. So I'm going to kind of leave the plastic around this portion of my sculpture. Takes on a whole new meaning of wearing a mask. Right, and then I'm gonna let that sit up for about 45 minutes. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna see how stiff it is, because I like it a little stiffer to add textures, or big textures. Okay, boom.